And the pitch to Pham is a strike. He has walked 30, and that's 2 per 9 on the nose. Just 2 men per 9. He has struck out 135. Pitch. Hit on the ground to short. Nice hop for kind of Falefa. The throw to first, 2 away. And so
pitch
the
to
strikeout is a strike. 4.5 to 1 ratio over walks. And he's given up 16 home runs. One every a little less than 8 innings. He has walked 30. And that's great numbers.
And you know what's interesting? He's got an ERA now of 2.73, and that's up because last time he was here on July 8th, he gave up 4 runs in 3 2/3 innings, which actually made the ERA go up. So he's actually been better than that, than the ERA that he's got now.
So 2 down, and here's Verdugo, takes a pitch outside. We are scoreless, bottom of the 3rd. There are 2 outs and no one on in the Red Sox 3rd. And the pitch hit on the ground to second. Gleyber Torres throws to first to end the inning. So Cortez has a 1-2-3. And Cortez in 3 innings, Susan, has thrown 36 pitches or 12 pitches an inning. That is great.
That's how you stay in for a long time.
Yes, sir. 3 up, 3 down, and a 3-0 score. WFAN, New York Yankees Radio Network, driven by G.
Hey guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games and maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important. Give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us a couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Michael Phelps.
You know, I think for me in 2014, when I found myself in that dark place where I didn't want to be alive in those 4 days when I was in my room by myself, after sitting there and thinking about everything, I wanted to find a different way. I wanted to find a different answer. I was sick and tired of feeling how I felt, and that's why I started to seek help, and that's when I checked myself into a treatment center.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. Like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
By the way, the 3rd inning was brought to you by Spectrum Mobile. Switch and save with Spectrum Mobile. Nationwide 5G included. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com. To the 4th. Both teams have one little old hit and no runs. Here's Gleyber Torres. Torres owns the Yankee hit, a sharp ground ball between first and second to right. Torres, Donaldson, Cabrera. And Gleyber takes a pitch low.
Don't miss Eric Clapton with special guest Jimmy Vaughn at Madison Square Garden September 18th and 19th. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
The 1-0, there's a strike.
You know, when all the writers got downstairs last night and got into the Red Sox clubhouse, they had already designated Jeurys Familia.
Pitch is a strike. Well, that was quick. I did see that, but that's quick. He came in last night and pitched very poorly. And also, he's a veteran. They want to look at young kids in September. Only the pitch to Gleyber is high. You know, Susan, we don't have a lot of September left.
No.
Today is the 14th.
Well, here's the other thing is that the minor leagues are still going on.
Right.
Remember, because they're long, so they do have a place to go, these young kids. That's
the 2-2 inside. One of his sinking fastball that really moved, but too far in. So the count 3-2 on Gleyber. Leading off the 4th for the Yanks in a scoreless game. And the right-hander Bayo deals and is foul back. So the count holds 3-2.
You know, it's really amazing. I know that people always think, maybe change of scenery. He was dreadful in Philadelphia, and they need bullpen. And if they released him...
Yeah, but usually a team will take a chance if the guy has a name.
Yeah.
Here's the payoff. Swung on and line to center field. There's a base hit, so Glaber is 2 for 2. And that will bring up Josh Donaldson. It is amazing. Just a little more than 2 weeks remaining in the season. The season for the Yankees, I guess everyone, but the season for the Yankees goes 3 days later. They have to make up 3 games in Texas. Make them up because they were due in the first week.
I have bad news for you.
Yeah.
It's 4 games. One of them's a doubleheader.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. Here's Donaldson. And the pitch knocked him down.
Whoa.
Up and in, and that's called flipping him. He got flipped.
Let's see, and he does lean in over the plate, and, well, it was indeed up and in.
No, he just threw up and in. I mean, Donaldson had to get out of the way. He wasn't throwing at him. Donaldson fly to center his first time. Oh, I know why. When the Yankees play a team outside of the East in the American League, they play them 7 games. And here is Bayo steps off. Play them 7 games, so you play, if it was the White Sox, you play 4 in Chicago, 3 in New York. If it's Kansas City, you play 3 there and 4 home in New York. So obviously it was going to be 4 in Texas. Well, now it makes sense. Here's the 1-0. That was a breaking ball high, 2-0.
They're not exactly drawing. I showed you that picture of the national anthem.
Yeah.
There must have been a couple of hundred people there. It was awful.
I
at
forgot
the national anthem.
I forgot to look at the attendance. I should have.
Well, we can do that.
Susan showed a picture of the ballpark last night, and it looked like there was no one there.
It was a national anthem. There were like 100 people standing there.
Here's the 2-0. Half swing, 4 strike, 2-1.
Still always think there's nothing sadder to me than an empty ballpark. You remember when we first saw the new White Sox park, whatever they call it now? We thought, God, is this ugly? And then 2015 came. What was the year that they won the World Series? 2005. Well, it's a long time ago. And it was full. And I said that was the only thing that was wrong with this. There were no people in it.
Right. Here's the 2-1, and Josh takes a strike. Inside corner strike. Count 2-2. He's another guy. I have never seen this much in all these years of guys who throw sinkers, which is a 2-seam fastball, 95 and up.
And up in the zone. So that when it sinks, it just sinks a little bit up there.
It just moves a little either side. Here's the payoff pitch. Is Glaber going? No. And the pitch is swung on and hit in the air to shallow right center. He's going to catch it. And is Refsnyder. And there's one away. The top of the 4th inning, sponsored by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Book a relaxing massage or facial after the game.
Okay, they announced 13,000. No, that's wrong. That's the date, Susan. Stop it. They announced 14,000. So maybe they counted the season ticket holders, tickets they sold. They announced 14,925. At 7:30 Central Time, there were not 14,000 people in that park.
No. Here's Cabrera, 1 on, 1 out, 3 infielders on the right side. And Bayo not only steps off, but bluffs the throw to first. When you step off, you can do whatever you want. So he spends a long time in a set spot, a set position. Cabrera struck out his first time. And he's a switch hitter batting left. And there's a strike on 1.
That's a Beautiful pitch. So fastball, slider, and change. Actually, the slider is his third pitch. He uses the change more often than that slider.
And for a guy who's 1-5 and his ERA is 5.79, he's pitching very well. The 0-1 to Cabrera is low. You figure these two guys have faced each other.
I would think so.
Well,
yeah. And they played them all the time.
I mean, Worcester and Scranton, they probably play us. That's not a bad assignment. That's not a bad bus ride. In the minors, you have bus rides. You could have bus rides that go hours. But here's the 1-1 to Osvaldo. And the 1-1 is low inside 2-1. That fastball was 96.
Good arm. Good stuff.
He sure does. The scoreless game in the fourth. The Yanks have a base runner at first. That's Gleyber Torres. Yanks have had 2 hits, both by Gleyber. Now the 2-1. Swung on, a pop fly down the left field line. A long run for everyone, and it drops for a base hit. Devers was playing over towards second. The old shift, eh? Only one on that side, so he raced out. It was down the line. Racing in was Pham, but he wasn't near it, and it dropped.
Well, here's the interesting thing is that the Devers, he ran too far. That ball landed in back of him.
Yeah, it did. But that's tough to gauge, though.
Oh, of course.
So first and second, so Cabrera gets a hit.
I think he overran it by about 2 steps. And he tried to reverse form and couldn't.
He was going out, like a receiver looking for the pass, but he couldn't find it. Well, the Yanks have first and second, 1 out. And here's kind of Falefa. Isaiah grounded back to the mound his first time. Now the pitch a little low. Here goes Chorus to third. The throw to third, a terrible throw, knocked down by Devers on to second base, as well as Cabrera. That's the craziest thing. He was running, but ran too soon. And so Bayo turned and looked, but he threw the ball straight down. Devers, if Devers hadn't reached his glove up and knocked it down, I think the Yankees might have stolen a run.
You know what was odd? Gleyber was about 4 steps off, and he started to steal as the catcher was throwing the ball back to Bayo. And then he ran, so Bayo throws over there, and it was an awful throw, I guess, by Devers. But I'm not quite sure what Torres was doing.
Well, if Devers didn't knock it down, that ball rolls to the dugout, the Yankee dugout on the third base side, and I think Gleyber scores. Anyway, we'll see how they score it.
Isn't that an odd time to run?
Yes. Well, very. Now here's the 1-0 to kind of fill up a second and third with 1 man out. Boston plays the middle of their infield back. Pitch is grounded, foul. Just missed a double down the right field line. And 2 runs. And that's why we're calling this the window of opportunity. Brought to you by Windorama. Let your project be their passion. So the Yankees have second and third. I don't know how they're going to score, but I'm going to score it a double steal.
That's how they scored it. And the thing that's amazing is that Cabrera had to tag along because he wasn't quite sure what Torres was doing either. So he got a little late, but it all worked out.
1-1 to Isaiah. And the pitch low and away was a breaking ball. The first baseman, now that's Arroyo. He's in on the pitch. His feet are on the infield grass. Devers plays even with the bag at third. Well, a fly ball gives the Yankees the lead. And even a ground ball to second or short. They're back. Here's the 2-1. Cut on this 2-2. That was the 2-seam fastball sinker, which was 96. And that ball really did move into. That's why he missed it. That ball really moved in. A righty sinker ball to a right-hand hitter moves in. Obviously, moves away from the left-handed. So second and third, one man out, 2-2 on kind of Falefa. And the pitch struck him out, same pitch. So they're a two-way. That's the fourth strikeout for Bayo. And here's Marwin Gonzalez.
Boy, that really moves. Where did that move? A foot in? 8-9 inches in?
Yeah,
Goodness.
I mean, that really moved. And when he swung, he couldn't get his hands or arms extended. He had no chance to hit it. Now here is Marwin Gonzalez. Switch hitter batting left. Gonzalez grounded to short. He grounded, though, on the first base side because Bogarts, they have three infielders on the right side, so Bogarts got the ground ball well on the first base side. If he would hit a ground ball a little bit on the shortstop side of second, it'd be 2 runs. Pitch is grounded foul at home plate. Toronto has opened up a 3-0 lead against Tampa. I have no idea who the Yankees would be rooting for there. Seattle, Tampa, and Toronto all have 62 losses. And Tampa and Seattle won today. They each have one more win than Toronto or Tampa. They all have the same record, basically. And there's the 0-1. Grounded foul. Susan and I were talking about it before. Whoever wins the Central is the number 1 seed. And someone's going to have to go to Seattle. And we don't envy them. No, they're a really good team, and they have really good starting pitching. But that's a long flight.
Well, that's if... Well, Cleveland would get those 3 games no matter who they play, right?
Right.
Because it's so if Seattle beat whomever.
Right. So, in other words, if Seattle finished second behind Cleveland, whoever would finish third would have to go to Seattle for 3 games. Thanks. 0-2 to Marwin Gonzalez.
Well, as long as it's not us. As long as it's not us.
No, it won't be us.